Alrighty, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Blazamut Ryu, but we did have some people asking me about my big 50-pal tower breeding base and how I sustain the amount of cake that is required to operate said base. Well, not that difficult. If you have a very good way of making money, legendary pal spheres is something to sell. Once you have that money, then you can take and use that to buy the eggs and milk. I personally have been stockpiling materials for making the pal spheres for a while, and I can make them pretty much willy-nilly now, because when I was first grinding this, I was grinding hard enough to where I ended up making 100 mil, as you can see here, and I still have 9.5 mil that I literally just made back after a little bit. But we had about, I don't know, 24 mil extra that we got from that. It was really not too much of a problem when it comes down to getting money for eggs, but when it comes to the salad and production of that, and then the growth of wheat and berries, we only have 2 berry plots and we only have 4 wheat plots. And because of the massive amount of cake that I have already, like, I don't really need to come over here and do this that often. So I had been sitting on around 7,000 cakes prior. Now we're down to about 6K over here, but we just filled up all those things. I don't know how much it is in there right now. I just bought about 100,000 eggs and about 100,000 milk and 110,000 eggs. And we just maxed out all those cookers and they will be done eventually. I've got 2 maxed out Yormantides over there cooking. Artisan, Work Slave, Serious, and Lucky on those in particular ones. And they are maxed out work speed for souls. So we do have a Blazamut Ryu that is actually in pretty good standings here. So we might use him, but I'm going to open up a couple of these eggs real quick to see if we get something a little bit better, and we'll just use that. As far as overall his passives, this is a level 1. We will go quickly level him up with some Excel training manuals. The gold ones work great. And if you guys were wondering about me maxing out these things, as far as when it comes to my settings, the only thing that I have really cranked up is the XP rate, pal appearance rate. Every once in a while, whenever I'm hunting down the chest for dog coin, I think I have the capture rate up as well. And then anything dealing with materials or decay of base as well, I have that off. And when comes to materials, I've got that cranked up because it's just easier for me to be able to do that whenever I'm doing videos like this and trying to break them out pretty consistently. There's nothing really that I could do about the breeding. The breeding is going to be the same speed pretty much, unless they come out with something different, then we'll switch it up then. But for the time being, the only thing that I have is just instant incubation, so that's it. Another thing as well that has sped up the cake making process and has definitely put my wheat and berries to a maximum is these Lulus. I do not have anything invested into them right now as far as condensing, but I do have like 8 of them out, so decent amount of those, and then 2 of the shroomers for sanity depletion rate. So yeah, let's open up a couple of these eggs and we will see if we get anything better, but we probably won't. I'm going to need to go over there and make the saddle as well, so we'll do that. And when it comes to any of my workers as well, the vast majority of them are maxed out with work speed stuff. When it comes to the transporters, they're mostly speed, or they're all speed, except for the Knocklims. We have not bred up a speed Knocklim for transporting yet, but those guys are actually really good compared to Wampa. Wampa is very slow in comparison to the Knocklim. They're actually pretty quick, especially with not even any speed perks into them. And with that 4 to 5 transporting, that allows them to carry larger sized stacks of stuff, which allows them to clear off a lot of the work areas much quicker. So that's also a good thing to keep in mind as well. So we ended up getting a little lucky, at least for breeders. We ended up getting 2 triple greens. So that's really good to get them going, and one was an Eternal Flame and the other one was a Serenity Ferocious and Musclehead, so that's pretty lucky, especially with them being offset. Still looking for triple greens on the other one. We have this one, but we need a Ferocious male, and I think the one that we pulled was actually a Ferocious female. It was, so that's unfortunate. So unfortunately, we didn't get anything good out of that, so we will have to work with what we got, which again, this isn't bad by any means. We are dealing with an 89 health, a 75 attack power, and an 87 for defense. Again, not bad by any standard. Most people would just keep this and move on. You guys know me, I'm a psychopath when it comes to this stuff, so I'm looking for 100s. So we'll go ahead and max him out real quick. And for all intents and purposes as well, we're going to roll with the jet dragon and quad stack some rubies behind him because, and this is the kicker, and why, again, I was saying the other day, when it comes to the Xenoguard, we did find out that it is not just any mining, it's your mining that you do, and the quartz and everything comes out at a pretty good rate. Good enough to where if you stack a bunch of them behind them and you really want to self quartz, do self mining with like a rocket launcher if you got the material, or do it with a pickaxe or any way that you want to do it. American mining, where you just shoot stuff with an AK or an AR rather. I could see purposes of using that, but when I've got like a literal quartz mine, it's kind of pointless to put this in there, given the circumstances that I am under. But I could see this being very useful for like hard mode playthroughs, where this could be very useful, or even normal playthroughs where you just need a lot of quartz at once and you want to mine everything at once and just do it that way. Completely up to you. So he's not entirely useless, but at the same time for fighting, not exactly my favorite guy to use. And the reason being, with him being all dragon, Ryu is a better option already. Because he is dragon and fire, he could be stacked with rubies behind him, and we have our 4 rubies, which we will take him against some of the normal suspects as per usual, and we'll use Jet Dragon to get around with a 3 stack behind him. And also with us breeding as much as we do, like getting a maxed out one early is very convenient nowadays compared to what it was. Now you can just max one out, and then it's not one that I'm going to use clearly because it has destructive on it, so we just pop that into there. Behold, maxed out. And we still got one more over here and then a 3-star as well. So if we want to do some more when we get our perfect, then we can deal with that then. We will also max out the health, attack, and defense. We're running a little low on medium souls, so we'll have to fix that over at the Anubis farm. And last but not least, the XL training manuals. All right. Got him up to 55. So without the rubies on him at a 75 attack power, we're sitting at 1,886. So we might do him some justice and go farm for the mimic chest really quick, just to get our last little bit to go buy a fruit, just to get him up to 85 instead of 75, just to see where we're at. One reason truly why I like coming over here to farm these guys is because, one, they're lower level, so they're not going to get away from me, as they run very, very fast. I figured out I've never seen them run before. But also, they're usually already periodically dying anyway because they're over by this lava, and even though they spawn here, they are neutral, so they burn very quickly. As you can see, we've just been over here for 5 seconds, and there's one already. Didn't mean to use that much force, but overkill is sometimes necessary. Another great tip that we had as well for finding these chests, if you want to, you can take and grab a hold of a Tombat and use their echolocation to find them pretty quickly as well. But even like running this little area, like you'll see them spawn pretty easily. And if they're closer towards the center, they'll be already on fire. And look at that, we got our 500. We already had 400, so we didn't need much more. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that and farming that coin, I do have a video on that. Wasn't too long ago, farming dog coin. All right, so we do have about 3 rubies behind him, and with the 3 rubies at an 85, he is at 2,646. To further this, we will fix him some burger. Oh yeah, another good reason to farm those dogs is you get a lot of these XL manuals from them, and you can actually butcher them for this as well. They drop it pretty continuously. I had about 360, maxed out all of my Yormantides and all my Noclums, which was 50 pals, and then wound up getting up to almost 300 again after farming those guys for a while, not even butchering. The one thing that we're going to do is kind of test his gangsta. As he is dragon, he is weak to ice, but he is fire, which is strong against ice. So this should be taking maybe neutral damage. At 6,914 health, I think we're looking pretty good. This is a lot better than the normal Blazamut, if I'm not mistaken. I think the normal one's like just around the 5 region. We'll have to look at that when we get back over there. Attack powers at 3,175 after we fed him a burger, and with a 3 stack of rubies. So that number is going to go up quite a bit. Defense is a little low at 1,092, but it's usable. With that health pool, that is it's a lot bigger than I was expecting. But these are also at a 87, 85, 89. So if you got perfect 100s, you're going to be doing a lot more. The main thing as well is that since his fire attacks are increased by a lot, then he should be doing some crazy good damage, because the Flame Emperor is 20% and this is 30%. So we're getting an extra 10% off of that. I think if you were able to breed down from Blazamut into a regular Blazamut, which you can, I can't remember what the side bit is to breed up a Blazamut like that, but there's a way to do it. You have to have another Blazamut though. We'll look at that later. But we put Seed Mine on him as well to get that quadruple damage. Why did it crash? Yeah, I've been experiencing some crashes here lately. I did turn on the multiplayer, but nobody's in here. That shouldn't really be happening, to be honest, but it is. I went through 5 dungeons yesterday and crashed 3 times. So that is a bit of a problem, and I am on a Series X, so that shouldn't be even happening. So you guys on S, I'm right there with you guys. All right, but let's try this out. Let's see what we got here. That might be an AoE attack. Like around him. Whoops. Did I feed him the burger? Yes, I did. Ooh, big hits right there. He really doesn't want to do his big attacks, does he? That is some heavy damage, though. That's pretty impressive. Boom. Yeah, he got smacked up pretty good, but not too bad, especially with that lack of defense there. I mean, we are going to see some major injuries from that, but he is dragon as well as fire. So he's taking what would be considered normal damage. Yeah, normal damage, because they kind of cancel each other out when you're going against ice pals. All in all, that Serenity is just enough while having Ferocious Musclehead and Eternal Flame on there to be able to get the skills to recharge back up very quickly. You could put Impatient on him, but I don't see it being that much better, because you yourself might be able to do the attacks more, but since you can hop off the pals and they have a secondary set of cooldowns with those in particular attacks, it's better just to put Serenity on there and have the extra 20% of power. So we'll go ahead and uptick that burger again, and this time we have 4 rubies on us. So we're sitting at 3,464 attack power. And again, at a 85, we still got 15 more IV that we could have in there. So that's pretty good. Not even pretty good. That's really good. So him being strong against dark, let's take him against Shadowbeak. No, I accidentally hit the hard mode. We're not going to do that yet. We'll do the regular. Ooh, one thing that I forgot. I'm gonna get hit up pretty hard. We'll put on his Magma Crusher. keep Flame Wall on there. Well, that's an interesting move. And as you can see, those active skill abilities come back pretty quickly. Wow. That was crazy. To be a part of that move is pretty wild. Here, we'll hop off of him, let him do his thing. This is actually a great preventative, like, of damage. He ate all the Dark Wisp on that one. And there you have it. He barely lost any health. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you now the strongest dragon pal in the game, bar none. All right, so we're going to take Flame Wall off. Beam Slicer. Mows down the frontal area with a beam. Imbued with dragon power. The area touched by the beam will also explode after a few moments. So we'll go with that one, and we'll take them over to Paudius and Necromus. But I am personally going to bring Jetragon as well to get over there much faster. So we are losing a little bit of power there. I mean, we're still at 3,175, so there's really not that much of a loss of power. But yeah, while we're sitting here, I can compare this. Do I have a all 100 version or something to match this? No, because all these guys are at well, he's at 53. So yeah, they're not far from each other. I guess the one big defensive thing that the Ryu doesn't get is legend. So there's that 20% of why the regular Blazamut will have a bit better defense. But overall attack power, they're not far off. I mean, we have one with food going here, who's at a 99 attack power, fully maxed out at level 50 at 2,248. This guy with the food is rolling at 2,309 with only an 85 attack power. So you can definitely squeeze out some more attack power with that. But yeah, you could trade out Flame Emperor for Eternal Flame on the regular Blazamuts. And there you go. Yeah, let's feed him another burger once we get over there. And we will fight Necromus and Paudius. Start out with Beam Slicer. Pretty sure I've seen how this goes. Kind of. With all three moves hit, we knocked Paudius already down half. Oh, two-shotted. And goodbye. Yeah, he got hit up pretty good, but I only had to use like 2 rockets and he's still good. Yeah, this dude is strong. Well worth it. Last but not least, let's take him against the new tower boss. Now, anybody who has gone against her knows that the regular mode of her is pretty difficult. I myself am going to eat a burger as well. Let's do the regular mode of the Moon Lady. Whoa! Well, she just one-shot Blazamut. And basically one-shot me as well. We did a lot of initial damage, but oh man. If you guys haven't gone against her yet, she is a tough cookie. Gotta play your cards right with that. Probably my suggestion for going into that fight would be definitely taking some Rush or hot dogs instead of the burgers, unfortunately. Old Shroomer rescuing Blazamut. What the world is going on now? Yeah, we'll let him rest it off. He definitely got hurt pretty good there. So when it comes to Blazamut Ryu, is he worth it? A resounding yes. He is by far your strongest dragon pal for the simple fact that you can stack rubies behind him. Maybe a little bit difficult to get a hold of, but it is well worth the battle and well worth the breeding to do so. Very strong pal. If I didn't sit there and eat a bunch of damage like I did and try to phase tank the Moon Lady, then we probably could have beat that with little to no effort, because he took her down a lot with not too much effort either. And I would probably put him up into probably your strongest fire pal too in comparison, because again, we're only running Ferocious and Musclehead for damage. So if we were able to take this dude and put Legend on him and drop Ferocious, then we'd be looking at a serious animal. Maybe in the future we'll be able to do that in some way, shape, or form, but as it stands right now, no, unfortunately. But that still doesn't make him not worth it to do so, because he still has everything that you want on a pal for the dragon type as well. So this is your new dark killing machine, and he isn't even at full 100s yet. So when we get that going, we'll make a little tiny showcase about that whenever we do get that done. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you guys enjoyed my content, please drop a sub, and write down in the comments below what's your favorite thing about the Blazamut Ryu, and have you been able to obtain one yet? Other than that, keep your willy washed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.